Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see, in this game I'm playing the Álvaro de Bazán. And why have I stopped it here at the beginning? Well, the first few minutes of this game, I didn't really do a whole heck of a lot. I moved across from where I spawned into the Alpha Cap. And I did have a GK that pushed up kind of right behind me, and a Thrasher that pushed up with me. But when I was getting to the point where I could be detected by the Cossack, if you look at the minimap, you can see the last known position of the Cossack at roughly Foxtrot or Golf 3. And I didn't want to get blapped early, so I positioned in an effort to secure the cap ahead of a red push, which is what it looks like to me at this point. We're going to see. So I'm going to try and stay in the cap long enough to secure it, which is why I'm sitting here right now. And then I'm going to try and provide some cover for the Kurfürst that pushed up with me. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing started. You can see I've got torpedoes out. And I've almost got the cap. Now, what can I tell you about Álvaro de Bazán? Well, it's got, I think, pretty decent guns. You got 8 of them.
Torpedos a popa.
Yeah, okay, so torpedoes are coming in at the GK, and I'm going to try and smoke them up here to try and help him live a little bit longer.
Torpedos a babor.
While I really appreciate him pushing up here, he did put his ship in serious jeopardy, and I want to try and offer what help that I can. There is a Des Moines that's somewhere on the 1 line. And I think I'm going to take a little bit of damage here just because I'm so close to him and there's so many shells coming in. But I am able to get them smoked up. Okay, so back to the guns. 8 guns. You can see how they're arranged. You've got 2 gun turrets forward, 2 aft, each with 2 barrels. The base reload is 5.5 seconds with an 180-degree turn time of 18 seconds. So they turn reasonably well. Firing range base, 12.62 kilometers with a max dispersion at 12.62 kilometers of 109 meters. So they're really accurate. Max HE shell damage, 1950 with a 9% fire chance. Initial shell velocity, 825 meters per second. So not too bad. I mean, these aren't Russian lasers, but they're pretty good guns. And I'm just kiting away now because there's so many red ships out there. I think at this range, I'll be able to land some shells while avoiding most of the return fire, if any. We've got Bungo out here just south of my position if you check the minimap. And he's liable to take more fire than me, although you can see some secondary shots coming in my way. Kurfürst is up close. I do manage to get a fire started. You can see Schlieffen and Des Moines have pushed down on the 1 line behind the island there and are coming around, and they've really just caught our GK, in a box. Okay, back to the details of the Álvaro de Bazán. The AP shells do a max damage of 2,500. If you catch something broadside reasonably close, but as is usually the case with a lot of destroyers, if you're getting that close, you're really putting yourself in a lot of danger, especially in the current meta with so much radar, so many ships that have hydro, and now subs and aircraft carriers in abundance. It's really risky. I don't recommend trying to make good use of that. You're just going to occasionally find yourself in a situation where you might. The torpedoes, you've got 2 quad racks of torpedoes. They are 533 millimeter torpedoes. They do a maximum damage of 13,900, and they move really slow. They move at 56 knots. You do have a 13.5 kilometer range, but the slow speed, well, it can really make it challenging to land torpedoes. In this case, I think the Kurfürst, I think he just didn't think that anything was coming. And one of the nice things about really slow torpedoes, as I do manage to finish off the Kura first, and our Stalingrad takes out their Cossack, one of the nice things about slow torpedoes, and there aren't many, is that you can occasionally run into a player who's unaware of how slow your torpedoes are. They will be kind of timing it in their mind and say, well, if they were going to be torpedoes, they should have been here by now. I think I can move and cross or get behind the island or whatever they're going to try to do. And every once in a while, you will catch them, just like I did there with the battleship that was trying to cross between those islands. Now, as it stands right now, we're down 3 ships. The bad guys are down 5. I've managed to pick up a kill, just shy of 46,000 damage, and I did get the cap. And now I have to try and do what I can to help out our Stalingrad and Bungo that's down there, literally licking the window at the bottom of the map. Now Petro with the radar, Petro with the radar, I got to make sure I get to cover as quickly as possible and then use the island to make sure that I can keep that line of sight broken. Now I got 10 non-pins. I guess I didn't aim very well. I was trying to aim high enough to hit the superstructure, and I tried to make use of one of the really neat features of this ship, and that is the rapid reload function. Now you've got a long cooldown after you use that, but in situations like the one where I just used it, it can be very handy. You can occasionally finish things off with it. If you've got a red ship that is badly damaged, as I go to work here on the Neptune, and I always have smoke that I can use to get out of sight. You can see the Petro right now. He's approaching the range where I don't have to worry so much about his radar. And now I'm going to want to reposition. And I think I'll probably cross north here. Petro, I don't have to worry about his radar at all. You can see the very slow torps. The rapid reload, that is a really fun thing. So I'm going to read this from the World of Warships wiki. Álvaro de Bazán can alternate between a regular firing mode and a burst fire firing mode. Firing the guns with the alternate firing mode enabled will fire 3 salvos in quick succession, which you saw there a minute ago. This firing mode takes much longer to reload. Reload time after you use that 21 seconds. Interval between individual shots 1.2 seconds, and the number of bursts in a series is 3. And I've played a few games in this ship at this point. I actually like it, and that burst mode is, I think, a lot of fun. It's Yamagiri, the Imperial Japanese Navy super destroyer, has something similar, and I like having that option. This ship is, for a tier 10 ship, I don't think especially powerful, and the slow torpedoes, you're not going to land as many. I mean, I got lucky and landed 4, and that's going to happen. You're going to have games sometimes where it just works out, but the guns are, I don't really consider them a terrible gimmick, I guess is one way I would put that. Now I'm going to try and get around here so I can get to the Neptune side. Because that burst fire with, so close. It was scraping the side of his ship on both sides. The burst fire with the AP against a Neptune could be effective, which is what I'm trying to do here. Now the red team, they are really fighting a good fight. I mean, they came back, right? I mean, we're down now to 6 ships, and they've got 5 still. So they are doing all they can to stay in it. You can see their Tromp down there. He's doing all he can. Petro, he's probably not long for this world, and I'm really, really hoping this AP is going to do something. It just doesn't do enough. Now, maybe my friends can finish off the Neptune. I have to wait for the reload. I probably should switch to HE here. And that'll probably do it if somebody doesn't beat me to it. Okay, so they finished off the Neptune. Now we're at 5 ships. The red team now is down to 4. Tromp only has 4,180 HP. And why is it important? Because with the Álvaro de Bazán, and this burst fire, rapid fire gun system that they have, it is not impossible that you can do that kind of damage, what, roughly 4,200 HP in one series of volleys, right? So the threat here is the Moskva, which is pushing up, and the Elbing, which is pushing up. Presumably they know that they have to retake this cap and or kill a couple of us in order to have a win. The Petro still in the game until right now. And our Stalingrad does finish him off, so now it is a 5 ships to 3 ships game. I'm staying just outside of radar range, and I don't think I want to get into radar range because I've got an Elbing and a Tromp that are probably right where I'm looking right now. And if I get radared, there's nowhere for me to go, and those two together have pretty solid damage capability. So I'm just going to sit here at the edge of the cap, not forever, because there might be torpedoes coming. There's the radar. You can see the Moskva. He's pushed in. Try and get a couple shots at the Elbing here. He's going to smoke up. Almost 2k damage. See if I can get a little bit more using the burst fire. Since he was still visible. And I'm going to put this fire out until I'm in a place where I don't think I can get hit anymore. You see the Trump's aircraft there. And there might be torpedoes coming around this edge, which is why I've stopped. And I think we're going to probably be able to dig that Elbing out of there. Now, I know the Tromp is close, right? Did you see the... I'm going to go back and show this to you again. This is really, if you're newer to destroyers, or you don't usually use the radio location skill, this is really important. Now watch where the radio location indicator is now. It's telling me the Tromp is out here, right? Now why do I know that? Well, I know that because the red team only has 3 ships, right? They've got Moskva, Elbing, and Tromp. I know where the Elbing is, and he's still in the cap, or it wouldn't be flipping still. I know where the Moskva is at. So this is telling me that the Tromp is the nearest ship to me, which means he has to be roughly here or closer, right? Which is part of why I'm watching out for torpedoes from this spot right here. Now, as soon as it flips, I know the Tromp is moving away. He's either going this way or this way, but he's getting farther away from me. And that's going to create an opportunity for me. So I'm just watching this right here. It flips to Elbing, and I know Tromp is moving away. And I'm going to try and get into position where I can get my guns. You can see I'm getting my nose to where the Tromp was, so that I can avoid torpedoes in a pinch. And I'm going to throw torpedoes at where I think the Elbing may be, and you can see that he's now being lit up by the Stalingrad. I'm just going to slow down here and see if I can't hit him again with the burst fire. Now he's still in smoke. That tells me a couple things. One, it tells me that he didn't reposition. I think he really should have. He left himself basically nose to our team. Were I him, I probably would have been trying to back up and turn so that I could be facing this way. He didn't do that. So he's left himself in a really bad position, because now he's, for another, 15, 20 seconds, he's going to be lit up by the Stalingrad. Right now, I'm going to have to move, because we got Bungo here, right? We know that the Tromp was here somewhere, probably. So I expect torpedoes to come around the edge of this island, and I'm going to have to move accordingly. And the radar on the Stalingrad ends. I can't sit here in the smoke because I'm liable to either take an airstrike from Tromp or eat a torpedo from Tromp.
Cortina de
So
humo
I just
desplegada.
need to keep moving. Okay, I didn't do much there, but I helped a little. There are the torpedoes. And you can see I moved out of the smoke. So
Torpedos a
I'm gonna need one of
estribor.
those. I'm still lit up. And I'm just pinging so that the Bungo, pinging the mini-map, I mean, so that the Bungo player knows, hey, he's out that way. At this point, this game is over. we're basically just going to be chasing down the Trump, and there's still 5 minutes in the game, so we know that we can. We just have to box him in, right?
La batalla finaliza en 5 minutos.
I can go ahead and turn on the AA. It's not very often that I am able to shoot down any aircraft in this thing. The AA is, well, it leaves a little to be desired. But it is a fun ship to play. Now you can see that I am lit up. I'm going to hit the speed boost and hope that I can catch the Trump. Maybe I'll catch him in a turn while he's trying to throw the torpedoes behind him. No, he's not moving very fast. I've got the rapid reload, the burst fire activated. And that did the job. So all in all, I think, I played a decent game. 3 kills, 86,000 damage. Did I light the world on fire? No. But I think I made good use of the ship. It is a fun ship to play. If you are completely unfamiliar with the ship, maybe this video will be somewhat helpful for you when you're looking at, assuming you are a DD player, at different options for different play styles. It's one I enjoy. We can continue forward here. We'll take a look at the after game stats. I didn't even finish first on the team. I think I was 4th, something like that. 86,000 damage, 163 shell hits, which, that's going to happen with that burst fire mode. 4 torpedo hits, that helped a lot, taking out the battleship relatively early in the game. So finished off 3 ships, set up 4 fires, 7 cap defenses, a capture, and we'll just keep going. And you'll see that, some of my teammates played really well. Yeah, Thrasher, great job. Bungo, Stalingrad. The Kurfürst, too. I mean, he pushed up in a position that really put him in jeopardy, but his guns being there drew the red team down that way, which bought us some more time, instead of them being able to push right around through the cap to the islands there to use them for cover. Detailed report. Big damage on the Kurfürst, on the Neptune. Tromp, only a little. Elbing, just under 12K. And, basically a couple of shots on the Petro. Main battery, 42,000. So we can kind of look at the breakdown. And this actually, I think, is pretty representative of how my results usually. I mean, sometimes I do a lot more damage. But this ratio seems to be about right. So you see 43,000 more or less from your main battery, mostly HE, and 32, 33 from the torpedoes, and then a little bit of fire and flooding. It's usually something like that, at least for me. Your mileage may vary, of course. I really appreciate you spending a little time with me. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, I hope you will consider liking and subscribing. I'd love to hear any comments you have, and I'll see you next time.